Here with Concordia head men's soccer coach Jason Weides after a 2-0 win over Bethany to finish the non-conference portion of the regular season on your 5-1. But starting with this game, you come off kind of a emotional win over a good Bellevue team. What did you see in the approach your guys took to this game?
I think they took a good approach. I mean, ultimately, it maybe wasn't as pretty as we'd like, or I think we have opportunity to be better as a team and grow as a team, but I think the good news is we're growing and learning in wins and not ties or losses. But I think when you come off an emotional game like that, there's a kind of tendency for teams to drop off a little bit or overlook an opponent or what have you, and I don't think the guys did. We just, ultimately, it wasn't as pretty as we'd like, but I think they had a good mentality. I think we worked today and we defended well and we put in a full effort. There's little things that we can improve to get better, I think in the attack and defending, for really on both sides of the ball, but not every game's easy, and I think this was just another example of we had to work for it today, and it was good that we got that second goal to give us a little bit of breathing room, because it was tight. Even though it was 1-0, it was tight. It just takes one in those moments, and fortunately we were able to get another shutout, which is good.
Yeah, speaking of shutouts, if I'm not mistaken, that's 4 out of the 6. What are you guys doing well to limit your opponents?
I think it's team defense. Obviously, when you see shutouts, and keepers get credits for that, and they're obviously doing a great job. We have a great goalkeeper unit. Our backline is doing a really good job, the defensive mids, but part of team defense is team defense. It's everybody putting in a shift, whether that's attacking mids, wingers, forwards, whatever position you play. It's really important to our team pressing, and I think everybody's bought into putting in their shift and working hard for each other, and for the most part we do a good job of pressing together, staying compact, fighting for every ball, and at the core you have to be willing to scrap and fight defensively and never rest on that side of the ball. And I think so far the blueprint of this team is just to never rest on that side of the ball, and I think that's really what's putting it all together. Our opponents have had chances. I mean, the reality is we could have conceded more goals in these first few games, but ultimately our keepers haven't been called to make a ton of saves either. The saves they've made throughout the season so far have been there haven't been too many that stretch them, and then they have to make just great saves that you're like, wow, he made an amazing save. They're capable of doing that, and they'll do that throughout the season, and they've done it a couple times, but I think we've done a good job of limiting quality chances, and sometimes we've been lucky. Maybe our opponents had a quality chance and they just happen to not put it away in that moment. So we're seeing good progress on the defensive side.
And lastly, conference plays up next. Mount Marty's had a good run through non-conference as well. What do you tell your team about the importance of trying to get off to a good start in the GPAC?
The good news is I think this is a smart team. I don't have to really convince them of the importance of 3 points in our conference play, whether it's Mount Marty or anybody else. I think we want to get started with 3 points, like you mentioned. It is really important to get going with that, and it's not going to be easy. Going to Mount Marty, they have a really narrow field, and it's tight spaces, and there's not a lot of space to play, and it makes it tough. So we're gonna have a real challenge, because also there's basically every area on the field there can be a long throw-in, which is kind of like defending a set play over and over and over. So there's a lot of challenges to playing them, just their field alone, but also, as you mentioned, they're off to a hot start. I think they're 4-0-1 and scoring a load of goals. So we'll see if we can find a way to cool them off, but they're off to a really hot start, so it'll be a great challenge.